video just on a little template of the Dark Dimension 1 team that I've been essentially preaching about in Discord. Now you're going to notice one of my characters is a little different than the suggested team. That's going to be the AIM Assaulter. The main reasoning behind that is this is my main account, and that team was not that good when I originally started my account. So with that being said, I did substitute out the aim assaulter with monstrosity, but other than that, the rest of the team is pretty standard. Graviton, depending on how quickly you're able to farm him, he might not be an option for Dark Dimension 1, but on the second fight I'll just kind of take in just kind of any random character at 6 stars, and just kind of show that it is still doable without a full aim team. With that being said, this is kind of an ideal setup for this team. They work best in this positioning. So we've got aim security in the middle, graviton. This would be the slot where the aim assaulter would be, and then we've got aim researcher and scientist supreme. Alright, so with that, I'm just going to hop into the fight and see how we do. As you saw, this team is only about 147k, so fairly built up, but not super built up where it's, some insane team at like 300k or higher. As I previously mentioned, AIM wasn't the greatest of teams when I was originally playing through, and honestly, with just all the new content that has been released, I haven't gotten to it on my main account. But we're still going to go into this fight. I can go a little bit more in depth with the strategy of how you're going to use this team in a future video if you'd like, but just to give you a kind of quick playthrough and see how that's going to go. So Dark Dimension 1 is going to be the first endgame content you do get access to. Very similar to Dark Dimension 2 in the sense that it is about survivability, and the longer your team is able to survive, the more nodes you'll be able to clear in a day, and the more nodes you clear in a day, obviously the faster you'll progress through this content. The AIM team has obviously very good synergy with one another, as well as pretty good survivability between Scientist Supreme and the AIM Researcher. They're going to kind of keep the team healed up, and certain characters might start losing health pretty quickly, but you'll notice they also start getting the health back fairly quickly as well. So I'm just going to kind of continue progressing through this and clear the rest of these enemy characters. And like I said, this is just meant to be kind of to more or less back up what I've been saying about this team. So we will pass through, just kind of fairly standard, basically heal, do some damage, heal, do some damage. Gets kind of a little bit on the repetitive side with this team. They are going to work kind of more in the situation with the more debuffs on the enemy characters, the better certain characters are going to act. Like I said, this team is a little funny since I don't have aim security or aim insulter here, who would actually be a better DPS than monstrosity. Monstrosity is a bit on the slower side. Aim assaulter is just going to be a little bit faster, but as you can see, we're still kind of making through pretty easily. No one has died yet, and in the case that if someone does die, Scientist Supreme does have a chance to resurrect them, and it's going to be a higher chance since these are all AIM characters. Also, you noticed her healing, which normally would cause debuffs to the entire side of your field as well as the enemy side, doesn't actually happen when she's paired with all AIM team members. It only debuffs the enemy side. You'll also notice my Graviton isn't hitting for much. Honestly, I haven't worked on him very much at all, so he is a bit on the weaker side. So this is taking a little bit longer than I initially would have liked. But anyway, with that being said, it is still progressing normally. In the future, when Minicall has these characters to the correct level, I can do a video with that as well. Chances are that's going to be quite a ways away. But again, this is just kind of giving you a quick one through of how this team does in Dark Dimension 1, why I am a firm believer of taking this team in versus the Guardians of the Galaxy. As I've said in other videos, this team is a lot easier to farm, a lot earlier on in the game, and if you're not looking to invest any additional money into this game, this is going to be kind of the best free-to-play way to go about things. So you did see one of my characters did die, and that's going to be now where the mechanics of Scientist Supreme comes in. And through the course of these remaining enemies, that character should get rezzed at some point. Again, it is kind of partially luck driven, so we'll see how that goes. So again, we're just going to continue to try to clear out the rest of these enemies. And like I said, I have not invested too much in to this team. So this isn't a totally, accurate representation of what this team is capable of. This is just kind of where I have them built up, how they do. So it's looking a little bit on the grimmer side here. I still think we should be able to clear through this, but let's just kind of keep going, and we'll see how I continue to do. So as you see, she did just res aim security, so I'm going to try to get her up a little bit. Um, and that took 2 turns for her to get rezzed. Of course, she just did get killed again, which that's just some bad luck on that end. I should be able to clear this node, kind of no problem. We did get Researcher back up, which she is a healer, so that'll help kind of get this team going again. But that's kind of the dynamic of Dark Dimension 1. As I've mentioned, it's kind of just a test of survival. So the more survivability your team has, the better it's going to do. And like I said, this team would be built up just a little bit more if I was actually purely focusing on this team to go to Dark Dimension 1. But as I mentioned, this is my main account, and when the game was first released, these characters weren't the greatest, so they weren't really worked on, and they've just kind of organically leveled up. So as you did see, I did just get AIM security back, so I do have a full team. I will be able to obviously finish clearing this node now. We'll go in with a heal, and so this is why I suggest this team kind of going into Dark Dimension 1. They make a fairly decent Dark Dimension 2 team, but again, they can definitely get you through Dark Dimension 1. As you'll see, my team is fully recovered, and I'm just getting ready to clear the last character. And in theory, if I wanted to, I could continue progressing through these nodes. Some nodes are obviously going to be a little easier than others, and it's just kind of a rinse, wash, and repeat situation. So I can further expand on this video if you would like, kind of do it, I guess, maybe a little slower, and kind of go more into the mechanics of that team. But if not, that is just kind of the proof in the pudding, as they say. So if you would like any additional content, you have any questions, comments, or concerns, as always, reach out to your Alliance leadership. And if you'd like to see anything specific in-game related, reach out to me in-game, mini call, or on Discord at Khaleesi. Thank you for watching. Hope you found this video helpful, and have a good one.